Tonight's headlines: Duterte vows strong relations with China. Galvez apologizes for vaccine. Ample power supply seen, says coronavirus cases in the country at 1,286,217. Philippine trade deficit widens in April. NCR to have rain showers and thunderstorms. PSEI rises anew. And BSP says too early to give up on 6 to 7% growth target. Good evening. Today is Wednesday, June 9, 2021. I am Elmer Navarro Manuel and this is Tribune News on Q. Here are the stories for this evening. President Rodrigo Duterte on Wednesday said that the Philippines will continue to pursue mutually beneficial bilateral relations with China before the Federation of Filipino-Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry Incorporated. In a video message, the president said that a win-win cooperation will ensure that the Philippines and China's relations remain a partnership for greater peace, progress, and prosperity. Former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, meantime, pointed out that China, as one of the biggest economies in the world, is a major investor in the Philippines' infrastructure projects and partner to the vibrant Filipino-Chinese community. The former Philippine leader also expressed optimism that the Federation will continue to be the moving force on the private sector side, not only to boost cooperation in trade, tourism, and investments with China, but more importantly, spread friendship, understanding, and the goal of mutual economic progress. Vaccine czar Cardito Galvez Jr. on Wednesday apologized for the vaccination delay in some local government units due to a lack of vaccine supply against the coronavirus disease. Galvez assured the public that the situation will normalize by June 14, adding that the problem arose after the vaccines ran out and that the demand for vaccines is high across the globe. He previously said that around 10 million doses are expected to arrive in the country this month, while 11 million are expected in July. However, he said that provinces outside the National Capital Region Plus, composed of Metro Manila, Bulacan, Cavite, Rizal, and Laguna, will be prioritized due to rising COVID-19 cases. The Manila Electric Company, or MERALCO, said it has enough power supply to cover the electricity requirements of its franchise area despite the rotating brownouts resulting from unplanned power plant outages last week. MERALCO spokesperson Joe Saldarriaga said that the power distributor gets 90% of its requirements from bilateral contracts, while 10% are from the wholesale electricity spot market. Asked to the rotating brownouts experienced last week, Saldarriaga said Meralco's franchise area was affected because it is part of the Luzon grid, which was plagued by a series of red and yellow alerts due to the outages of several power plants. Meantime, Meralco President and CEO Ray Espinosa said that once the supply shortage affects the entire Luzon grid, the system operator, or the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines, is forced to undertake manual load dropping or rotational brownouts to maintain the integrity of the system. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Iba ng panahon, ang dami ng bago ngayon. Pati ang mundo natin, well, nagbago na rin. Buti ang bayan, bigger, better na. You can buy it sa centers, pati sa mga partners, may online pa at app. You can buy it with your fingers, still don't remittance and more. Online shopping, you can buy it all. Di magpadala, you can buy it all. Anumang pera transaction, you can buy it all.
Sabayan ang pagbabago ng mundo for all your pera transactions, all new Bayan.
The Department of Health reported 5,462 confirmed coronavirus disease cases on Wednesday to bring the total number of infections in the country to 1,286,217, even as 8 laboratories failed to submit data on time. This brought the active cases to 54,000, and of the total, 92.6% are mild, 3.0% are asymptomatic, 1.8% are severe, and 1.4% are in critical condition. The number of recoveries, on the other hand, rose to 1,210,027 after 7,854 patients recovered from the respiratory disease. The death toll is now at 22,190, following 126 fatalities recorded. Data from the DOH also show that 58% of the country's intensive care unit beds are in use, while 38% of the mechanical ventilators are occupied. In other news, the Philippine Statistics Authority announced Wednesday that the Philippine trade deficit widened by over 14 times year-on-year in April, as imports recorded nearly twice the growth of exports. Preliminary data from the PSEI show that the balance of trade in goods expanded by 1,361.5% to a $2.734.32 billion deficit in April. This compares with the $187.10 million deficit in April last year and the $2.751 billion deficit in March. A deficit indicates that the value of a country's imports exceeded export receipts, while a surplus indicates more export shipments than imports. State Weather Bureau Pagasa announced that the National Capital Region is expected to experience cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms due to the monsoon throw. In its 24-hour forecast, the weather agency said the rest of Luzon, Visayas, Zamboanga Peninsula, Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi will also experience similar weather conditions. Affected residents are warned against possible flash floods or landslides due to scattered, moderate to at times heavy rains. Pagasa also said the monsoon throw may also bring partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms over the rest of Mindanao. We'll pause for a short break. Stay with us.
Click, click, that's it. Never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap, it's a wrap. Just tap the app. Now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the ring apps are the in thing, you know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Self-service and easy to use, mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now.
Download Globe at home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Viber is the free and secure way to connect with friends and family, anywhere. Send messages and make phone and video calls for free. Download Viber now.
In business, the local stock barometer rose to the 7,000 level on Wednesday despite investors taking a wait-and-see stance. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index increased by 92.82 points or 1.36% to 6,902.54 at the closing bell. The broader all shares was up by 43.8 points or 1.05% to 4,160.21. Regina Capital Development Corporation Head of Sales Luis Dingdingan said that investors trekked back to the local stock market despite their wait-and-see stance ahead of the release of the US's May inflation report on June 10. Volume reached 2.02 billion shares amounting to 7.58 billion pesos. Gainers led losers at 138 to 61 while 52 shares were unchanged. And Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Governor Benjamin Diokno clarified that the Duterte administration's economic team will stick to its economic growth target for this year despite a downgraded outlook given by the World Bank. The PSP chief said that it is still too early in the year to give up on the country's target of 6 to 7%. The multilateral lender's revised projection is also slower than the already trimmed growth outlook of 6% to 7% of the Duterte administration's economic managers. The central bank chief said that the target of inoculating 50 million Filipinos by September or October is also achievable. That wraps up the stories tonight. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition and press reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store or Google Play to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarsito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just visit the sticker store and search for Katribu. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store and the Araneta City for their continued support. Again, this is Elmer Navarro Manuel and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good night, and God bless us all.
Montero Sport. Elevate your journey.
Drive your ambition. Mitsubishi Motors.